Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm so happy you're here. So today we're about to make some Kathi Rolls. Oh yes, so Kathi Rolls are coming to us originally from Kolkata. They are a street food and today we're going to be saucing it up. For the wrap, it's used with something called porta. It's a buttery, flaky flatbread that's served with a lot of dishes. It's also, roti is very similar to it, if you know that. We're gonna fill it with a nice spiced potato sausage mixture, top it with some pickles, some pink sauce, and a creamy-dreamy yogurt sauce. So if that sounds good, stick with me and we'll make it. To make this recipe, we're going to start with our creamy-dreamy Raita yogurt sauce. Start with some green onion. Use the light green portion. You're going to give it a thin slice. Use about 2 tablespoons of this in total. That's going to go into our sauce. Next, go ahead in with some cucumbers. I'm using some Persian cucumbers. Any cucumber you have will do. Although if you're using slicing the standard cucumber, I recommend that you peel it first. Go ahead and give it a dice. Use about half a cup here. Of course, the full recipe for this video will be in the description box below. Next, go ahead in with some cilantro. Give it a good slice and use about 1/4 cup of this in total. Next, you're going to want to go ahead with a lime. Use the juice of half of a lime for your raita. This is going to give a nice zinginess to your sauce. In a bowl here, I've got half of a cup of plain Greek yogurt. I added in a teaspoon of garlic powder, my lime juice, as well as 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin. All that's left to do here is mix it up, add in the veggies, and give it a swizzle of olive oil as well as some salt. So here is the potatoes that we're going to use for our filling. I'm using some standard russet potatoes peeled, and you're going to want to give them a fine dice. You'll see the size that I make here in just a second. You don't want the pieces to be too big because it will make it a little bit more difficult to fill your Kathi roll. So that's the size that you're looking for, just a small dice. Once those are all diced up, add them to a pot of water and bring them to a boil for about 10 minutes. You're going to want to also add a generous pinch of salt so that your potatoes have flavor. So here's the brand of porta that I use. You can find them in a Desi supermarket. If not, you can use roti as a great substitute as well. So for the inside of the porta, we're going to be putting some egg. So I've got 1 egg in the bowl that I beat really well with a tiny pinch of salt. And here in a pan heated to medium, I put in a tiny smattering of butter. And you're going to want to go ahead and lay your porta in there and prepare them according to your package instruction. Mine says to cook on 2 minutes each side, so that is what I did. And next, you're going to pour the beaten egg over the porta as it's cooking. It's okay if it kind of slips off to the side of the pan like it did for mine. It will work out in the end. So you're going to try your best to push the egg over the porta, and then you're going to flip. So I went ahead and pushed all the egg mixture to the middle of the pan so that it sticks. And once it's done, it's going to stick to the bottom of the porta and kind of almost look like an omelet. If you're not comfortable with doing this, that is just fine. You can scramble your eggs or make an omelet separately and then add it to your filling at the end. So here's the potatoes after about 10 minutes. They are fork tender, so I'm going to drain them very well and set them aside until we need them. So in the pan here, I've got it set to medium-high heat, and I added in a tablespoon of mustard oil. You can use any oil that you like. And I went in with a half of a small onion sliced and about 1/4 of a red bell pepper sliced. Go ahead and put that in your pan to start getting it nice and soft and caramelized. Yum. So next, add in a tiny pinch of salt to this, and I went ahead with, at this step, with some sausage. I am using 4 small turkey sausage links. They're a breakfast sausage. These are my favorite, but you can use any sort. You can use a non-meat sausage. You can use tofu here if you prefer any sort of meat substitute or sausage that you like. I browned them according to the package instructions, along with my peppers and onions, and I'm going to push them aside so that we can get our spices in. So I went ahead with another tablespoon of mustard oil, and here I go with a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of coriander, 1/4 teaspoon of tumeric, and 1/4 teaspoon of red chili pepper. I added in a little bit more oil so that our spices can bloom in the oil. At that point, go ahead and lower your heat so your spices do not burn. I lowered them to medium, and I'm just gonna let the spices continue to bloom and cook up with the onions and peppers. This takes about 3 minutes. Once that's done, I actually forgot, I added in a teaspoon of garlic paste and ginger paste each, and then I put that in at the last minute and let it cook for another minute. So now that a few minutes have passed, it's been about 3-4 minutes at this point. My veggies are all soft, the sausage is cooked, the spices are bloomed, and here we are with the potatoes that we boiled. You're gonna add that in, and I put in a little bit more mustard oil for some flavor, a little bit more moisture, and our filling is done. Make sure to taste for salt and adjust as you need. And we are pretty much wrapped up. All that we need to do is assemble our Kathi Rolls. I'm so excited. So first, you're going to want to lay your porta down. And there it is with the egg, so delicious. Go in with a generous dollop of the creamy-dreamy Raita. And a nice helping of our potato sausage mixture. I went ahead and finished my Kathi Rolls with some pickles that I made. I won't leave y'all hanging. I have a recipe for that. I will link it in the iCard and down below. And I finished it off with some green onion and some cilantro. And of course, can't go anywhere without the pink sauce. And guess what? There's a recipe for that too in the description box below. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think if you try these out. These are my absolute favorite lunch brunch at the moment. I hope you enjoy. If you did, give this video a like, subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one.